Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Eddie here, Eddie Makes Art. And this baby is pretty much done. This is my butterfly journal. And if you've been watching this series, you've seen me do the cover and the signature and dyeing some fabrics and all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to do a flip through. It's pretty much done. There's probably a couple things here and there I might add to it as I continue to, look through it, but it's pretty much done. So we have, these are fabrics that I dyed, except for this one. Here's another fabric I dyed. I used some coffee, some distress inks like this one. This is a tea dye one. I used a couple of alcohol inks that I made myself. And this bad boy needs a closure because he's fat. Okay. And then the situation with the elastic, I got this elastic, which works a lot better. There's a jump ring here to hold the ribbons, but there's also a jump ring here. And that is because my book, it was sliding up and down a lot, and so I decided I tried that, and it keeps it from doing that, so yay for me. So yeah, let's start. So yeah, that's my cover. This is a gel print of mine, and remember, we made this cover using some Amazon packaging, a brown paper mailer. Use that, and then we line the inside with this awesome, really colorful fabric, and then we have our little flips here. And these are just vellum pockets with just little tidbits for the user to play with, and some fun quotes on there. These are also gel prints I did. Most of the gel printing here is mine, pretty much all of it. So let's go. Start here. We have a belly band here using some of the fabric I dyed and stamped, and I put some of Julie Torn's original watercolor flowers, which you can get the digital version at pmartiststudio.com, and just do a search for Julie Torrens, and she has some wonderful digitals there now. And then what I put in here is I just had this envelope, butterfly envelope. I inked it up. I used one of my own stamps to just mark it up. It's this guy here. It says still got paint on my hands. And then just some, I guess we call this stationery, just some papers I had that were dyed or inked or whatever, and I just put a little markings on them, gave them some ink, gave it a funky edge. I stopped at this one because the scissors weren't working well, so that stopped that. But yeah, I thought it was fun to just put in a bunch of stationary journaling spots for this particular journal, and so that's the first one. There's some painted music paper, and this music paper I painted. I didn't paint it. It was basically my drop cloth when I was dyeing my fabrics. And so this is, what it all was. And I went over it with a stencil. This is another PM Artist Studio stencil. Here's another one. This is a stripper. It's Aqueous Effervescence. And this is a print I did on carnival tissue of a butterfly. A few butterflies, and that's a treat for someone to find, and then they can do whatever they want with it, as you do. Okay, that goes like that, and there. And here's another gel print with butterfly stenciling, and this is a hidden paper clip I made. You can see it's got the butterfly on it. Some washi tape. And this is a piece of scrapbook paper I folded up. And you can use it as writing space. Keep some little notes or little secrets in there. Oops. There we go. It goes in there. This is my doily. All I did with this, I just put a little ink on it, and then I added a circular, this is actually an ATC coin, but I glued it on here as like a cluster sort of with some fabric I dyed, and then some more writing paper. Let's tuck it there. We're gel printing. This is this was done with bubble wrap, and this is a stamp I made. A couple of these are stamps I made in there. They're kind of, you know, mixed in. I did a lot of stamp work in this today to finish it up. I used a lot of my own homemade foam stamps, so you'll see that as we go through. There you go. This is a gel print I did on tissue, and then just glued it down on the back of this gel print. And here I use Darcy's stencil Imagined Wallflowers on the coffee dyed page, and I just used the distress ink in Vintage Photo and the vellum pocket. And this is actually a journal card I did months ago. I never used it, but it's got a beautiful butterfly on it. So I said, well, let me toss that in there. That's one of the things I did when I was creating this journal, is I went through the ephemera that I've made, or, you know, journal cards, whatever tags that I've made, and had in a box. And I went through and I picked out what I thought would go, and you know, I used a lot of it, so it's a great way to use up things that you've made and you're like, oh, what am I going to do with this? So always keep that in mind. Oh, this is a fun one. I like this one. So a while ago, I made these gel prints using a stencil from PM Artist Studio. It's the Feathery Eye Clusters stencil. And I think I have it right here. I can show you. Yeah. So it's this stencil here. And what I did is, I did it on tissue, and I glued it down on some, I think it was just like a thicker paper. I don't remember to be sure, but so the front, this is all tissue that I glued down from a gel print, right? And then on the back, there was another gel print. That's what I did, is I glued it onto the back of a gel print of a different one. And what I did is I came in with colored pencils and gel pencils. This says gel pen in it. And I just went and decorated and you know, drew in, and, you know, made just little fun little taggy things. And this is just some ribbon that I glued down in 1, 2, 3 spots. But before I did that, I kind of wove in these, I don't know what to call it, gel print charms, maybe, I don't know. But, and then put some little bling up here. And then just, you know, because I put the eyelets in it, and I just wove the ribbon in through there. So there you go. That's just something fun and interactive. And then there's space to write in there too, if you want to write. And this one's fun. This is an envelope that I made on a previous video. It's like it's one big piece of paper that I coffee dyed, and then I turned it into this folio, which opens up like this, and it's got all kinds of goodies in it. This is also Amazon packaging, this tag. This is just some little bits and pieces, cute little journaling card. Oh, this is fun, a playing card somebody sent me with a bug on it. That's very cool. And then the other thing is just put just some blank paper in there for journaling. But this was originally, you know, its own thing by itself, and it's all decorated, but I decided to glue it down and then just make that into a tuck spot there, and I put a couple pieces of ephemera. This is from another journal. It's like a conversation or a writing prompt card. Little cute little feathers. This is a digital. And here's another gel print I did on tissue. Very nice. I sprayed it on the back too. That's why it's got this really cool mottled sort of coloring. And here I stenciled over on this little guy from PM Artist Studio, little dragonfly. And that's a great way to decorate your pages if you are trying not to add bulk to your book. Definitely go with stamping. It adds a lot of great details and texture without bulking up your book. These are Carrie the Griffiths stamp, or is Carrie Griffiths stamp, also available at PM Artist. This is one of my stamps here. Everything is shifting as I fold. Yeah, so it's this one here. I just went along there. This was a fun page. This was just something I was just kind of, what am I going to do on this page? It was, you can see it's a music page. But I did this print with some brick. If you know, you know. I used a texture plate to create the brick, and then, but underneath the base is tissue paper that I had stamped. I took a big piece of just tissue, not the carnival tissue, just like plain tissue you get at like the dollar store. And I had stamped a bunch of the tissue, so I used a piece of it on here with gel medium, and then I layered down the brick and also this waxed dyed paper made by, I know her YouTube name or her Facebook name is Serious Hecka. I don't know the other name, but I'm sure somebody will let me know in the comments. But yeah, this is some paper Mariah sent me that she made. And then you can see my stamping here again with this guy. And here, I've got some beautiful textured paper that I sprayed and put a bunch of stuff on there, and I just made a little flip with a little cute pick in there, and we can add a little something in there. Do I have anything small enough right now? Here's an old, this is just a card I found in some stash. There we go, some nice bright orange to go with that. A little bit of ephemera. And look, I'm using some lace in here, but I grunged it up real good. This is actually coffee dyed lace, and then I took some distress paints from Tim Holtz and just painted it. Actually, I put the paint on the gel plate and then smooshed the ribbon around. And here, I've used some digitals from ePapery from their latest summer collection, and just kind of cut out the young lady here with her crystal ball, and I put a little butterfly in there and some fabric here and there. And then another writing page with the quote and some more stamping. This is left blank. I don't, I can come back and do something on there, but for now it's blank. I took another one of my stamps and just used some white acrylic and stamped over this page. And it's cool because it's a heavy body paint, but it leaves a really nice texture. So it's got a nice feel to it. It's a little more dyed lace on here. Okay, so on this side there's lace, and then on this side there's some of that fabric I dyed the other day. And these are little pockets I made with the this catalog page, or this, it's a Epcot Center advert, but it was big, so I just folded it up and created a little pocket there. And we have a cute little tag. Let me hold it up. As you can see, there's some cool texture going on in the background there. And then this is the gel print that I did that I also sprayed. Got on the back. And then a little bit of stationery here. Same method as I did that little one earlier that I showed you. It just folds out like that. Tuck that in there. Ooh. And then this page I stamped some moths and bugs using foam stamps from PM Artist. And this is some dyed cheesecloth and a little bling. And this one's fun. It's all about butterflies. This flips out. Get a little specimen card here. And then this is a little pocket. And do we have anything for that little pocket? Let me see. Obviously, I don't have everything out right now. I've been kind of like going between this and gel printing, and it's a constant movement of stuff. Let's see. I just want to show you. I can put something in there. No. No. What do we got here? Let's see. So we can put like something like this in there, you know. See, should get a little extra spot to stash stuff. And this one's fun. This is I made this a while ago. These are just like, it's like an accordion little notepad thing. But I glued it to here, to the back of the page. So there's writing space there. Just added a sticker and some stamping. This is one of my gel prints that I don't know if it's still on my Etsy page as a printable, but it was. A little sentiment there, butterfly. And this is some bubble printing that, or bubble painting that Sharon at Texture Junkies did. Isn't that cool? It's a tag. So I didn't want to decorate it anymore. I thought it looked pretty cool on its own. And then it's just butterflies here. Go. And this is some more texture paper. I got this from all the way from Israel from my friend Miriam. Isn't that beautiful? I dyed it too, just like I dyed the other one. And then on another video, I made a bunch of little bits and pieces that were watercolor paper that I hadn't used, or watercolor paper like that was, it was just swatches of colors that I didn't need anymore. So I cut them up. And this one was fun. I made, I stamped this butterfly on there and then colored it in with some pencil, cut it out, inked it up, and then it's on there. And in here, this writing space, and it's just, some stamping in there. And then another one of my stamps here with some red, just to pick up on this red here. This is a gel print I did on tissue. It's got all kinds of wonderful gold on there. This is sprayed, obviously, on the back. And it matches up nice with that. Here is, just a couple of pockets. This is also from Miriam, this text here. This is Russian book page, which is really cool. So I cut a piece of that out and glued it down. Made a couple of pockets and stuffed them and all that fun stuff. Some bee stamp from PM Artist Studio. And this is also one of their stamps. It's called Graffiti. More of my stamp there. And then this is here, the dyed cheesecloth. And then I cut out a butterfly. There's a full gel print, and I cut this one out to go in here, and then added this piece of fabric here for the trim. And I folded it over so it protects the edge of the page, and it gives you something nice to touch. This page was fun. Okay, so this was just originally just the green background with the gold stencil over it. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to do to make it not look so Christmassy, because it was really screaming Christmas. And this is not a Christmas book. So what I did was I took some of that tissue. Remember the card I just showed you? Where's that tag? There's a tag with printing on the back. Let's see. Yeah. So from this printing session, So basically used my stamps in black paint and all that fun stuff, and then sprayed it. So I used strips of that to go around, create a border. And then I had, this was actually one big triangle, it was one big pocket, and I was going to use it on, I had thought about using it on something else and I never did. And again, I found it in my stash, and this is actually, it's texture paste over a gel print, funky gel print, and I split them in half. And so you've got this little pocket system here, pocket tuck, with some writing paper, some stationery. And this one I made this morning. This one was fun. I just folded it with, you know, whatever. There's no specific fold. This is the tea dye spray. And then I had this piece of lace. I don't know where it is right now. That I dyed. I used it in another book, I think, or another project, and it had been, I had sprayed it with the black oxide, distress oxide spray, and I laid it down here and here, and I sprayed over it, and then I noticed it was leaching the oxide color. So I started pressing it into the paper, and I got all these really cool marks. And then these are my circly stamps. So let's see if I remember how to fold that. Let's see, like this. Here. This goes in here. And then just like that. Fun everywhere you turn. All right, this was cool. This is a collage of photos I took when on my last trip to San Francisco. That's the theater in the Castro district, and these are the painted ladies. And this is a view. I forgot the name of the park, but it's a park that it's way high. It's a very tall park. And you look off, and it's just beautiful scenery, and it's wonderful. I even signed it, dated it. And here, oh, this is the clip that's holding it. It's an old one I did with a playing card. So here, it's a tuck, a little bit of writing space, and this is another one of my stamps with some purple acrylic. And on this side, I got this awesome card at the thrift store. I got a bunch of them, and with the butterfly on them. So I turned this one into a flip, and here I used another PM Artist Studio stamp with some acrylic. And then I did this really cool thing on the back because it was plain white, and I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to glue, so keep it, you know, nice and flat. So I stenciled over it. So I want to show you how I did that because I think it's a great way to add some cool detail to your projects using a stencil. Yeah, I know it's upside down. Okay, so let me just set this aside for a moment. Here you go. Just got some watercolor paper here I pulled out. And the stencil I used is Dottie Miss Dottie. This is designed by Rhonda Dona over at PM Artist Studio. She just designed many, many wonderful stencils. This is one of her latest. And all I did, I took my paddle brush and I took a couple of inks. So let's see, I know I used that one. Let's use this fired brick distress oxide. And how about this antique linen? Let's see how those work. So, and you're basically just layering these things on here, the inks, but each time for each color, I shifted the stencil around to a different position. So the circles are not, you know, just laying on top of each other. So I'm just gonna do a little section here. So you come in with your ink, go all around. Obviously, if you want it darker, you can certainly make it darker. or just make it darker, you know, in certain areas. It's always fun too, just to give yourself, to give it a more, give it more dimension. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so we got that one. And again, that was the Distress ink in the vintage photo. And I'll get another brush here. Use this one, the antique linen. And I've never really used this one, but let's see, it might be too light for this project, but we'll see here. Oh, that's it. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, so you switch the stencil around and get yourself a different section to work from. And then come in with your next color. You go all around. And you can do more than 3 layers. I only did 3 layers because that's all I wanted to do, right? Honestly. All right. So you get your second layer there. You can see how cool it looks. Like it's like very dimensional, kind of like you're looking in. And then over here, let's do some more of this different one. Right here. Awesome. And then let's do the red. This is a very strong color. Let me see, I'm going to use another, let's see if I have another paddle available. All right, so I'm just going to use this one here. Again, this is the Fired Brick Distress Oxide. And let's see what side we're going to use now. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Let's start here. You see that is quite a stronger color compared to the other two, but it's going to give us a great effect. Let's see. Isn't that cool? Very cool. Now, if you want to go even further, I put this on watercolor paper because Distress Oxides are activated with water, right? They react to water. So I'm just going to spray a little bit. And let's see what it does. Run it around. A little bit more. See, they're going to run a little bit. What I want to do is come in with a paper towel and just kind of tap out some of the excess water. And you're going to get some of that ink up, but that's okay. But you see what that does? It makes it into like a more dreamier kind of vibe looking design. So let me lift this up here too. And I'm not pressing very hard, just, you know, to get some of that water, extra water up. Isn't that cool? Very easy, fun, and it doesn't add bulk to your project. Very interesting. While we're here, I'm going to spray some of this tea stain on here. Let's see. And then maybe a little bit more water. Let's see. That's fun. I love playing with stuff like this. So yeah, so you can do, you know, some really cool effects with this stencil. Again, it's called Dottie Miss Dottie, and it's available at pmartiststudio.com, and that'll all be in the description box below the video, including my discount code, and you can save 10% on your purchase. So that was a quick little tutorial. I'm gonna wipe this up because otherwise it's gonna get all over my book. I'll set you up here to dry. And we'll bring back our book. So yeah, so that's how I did this part. I'm just gonna take this out for now. That part right there. And obviously I didn't spray this because it's a card and it's not a thick paper. But I wanted to try the spray technique. That's why I used the watercolor paper to do the demo. But look how fun that is. Okay, and this is a really cool pocket. It's a multi-pocket pocket that my friend Texture Junkies Sharon sent me. She had mass make these. And so I was lucky enough to get one. And I had a little ribbon stamp here of my own and some little bits and pieces. And then I left the back open. Oh, here's a gel print that I did. This was, what's the word? It was so I was using my 5x7 plate as a palette, doing some prints. And it got built up with some paint and stuff. And so I used this piece of paper. You can hear it's a little thicker, it's like a cardstock, to pick up all the stuff that was on there. And I got some cool little, you know, textures and bits and pieces here. So I made that into a tag, and I added just a little layered badge I made with some fabric for the tab. And then obviously it's got, my camera stopped in the middle of that last bit when I was explaining how I made this. I was spray dyeing some, words are hard today, die cuts of feathers. And I had laid the die cut down. It was just white and started spraying around. And then it's left this really cool pattern. And then all the spray. I even had sprayed on some oxide. You can see some of that distress oxide in there. Yeah, so that's fun. Submit that into a tag. All right, one of my favorite prints I've done. And I made a flip out. So what I did here is I took some of the fabric that I dyed and I stitched some X's in there. I glued it down, and then I tied, actually before I glued it down, I attached all of these little gold, antique gold safety pins, and then glued it down to the top of this gel print. And it flips open. We got a little butterfly here in some cheesecloth. And here's my butterfly print I did on pattern paper, like you know, for making clothing. Oh, and this is from Sharon too. She made this little cluster thing, so I slapped that on there. I thought that was really cute. Always play. She's got there's little dots here. I can't say exactly what it is, but it's silver and they're cool. And some lace. This was actually very white lace, and it had this bit here to keep it curved, so it's like a curve shape, and I ripped that off and just glued that on there. Some more stamping I did on just some writing pages. This is acrylic paint, and then this is ink here. And oh, this one's fun. So this is the other side of that Christmassy looking page, and the bottom half, the bottom part here, the white edge from the print was showing. So I covered it up with another gel print. This was on tissue. And then I found this gel print, which is very textured. And tore that one up and made a pocket. And this young lady gets to live in there. Very nice. Okay, keep going here, more stamping. It's the other side of that really cool purple tissue print. And here's another one of my stamps. This one's called Extrovert. So you have, where is it? This is Extrovert, and this is Introvert. Fun, right? Okay, so this one's cool too. This is a flip out. And this is a piece of botanical book page, and with that flower, the what is it called? Wisteria. Yes. So I took another piece from that page and made a little flip up with a little tab, and then just some paper, writing paper. And then there's two more pockets with a little fabric and some washi tape. I'll bring it up, you can see that. All right, another flip out. This I haven't done anything. I might just leave it. I just kind of like the feeling of it, you know. I don't think it needs to be decorated further. And here's the other side of that Epcot Center page. This is a cute little tag I made recently. Got a lot of fun distressing and stuff in the background. More of that gel print. And then just added a little badge here with a number and distressed it. And here's a thank you card, part of a thank you card I had in my stash. And I sprayed it and inked it, and I distressed the edges, stamped it, and it's good to go. And then this here, you saw me make this in another one of my videos, where I used a 12 by 12 and I made a bunch of these individual little cluster bases. And I turned that into a little tuck with some stamps and a sticker there. Go in there. More trim with the fabric and lace. There, more stamping. And this is more of that e-papery digital. Took some butterfly there, and then this paper in the back was different, with some more of that Russian print. And here's just a mini paper bag glued on there. And I decorated this a while ago. Again, it was in my stash. The only thing I added was this photo with some cheesecloth behind it. And then I put in, this is another tag I made. And it's very textured. And I put in a little dragonfly sticker with a label and some fabric up here. So there you go. We can do some here. Let's do some. I got some stuff here to put in too. I made some more stationery. That won't fit in there. Here's some more copper. This is copper paint I use with one of my stamps. It's actually this stamp, and I just went around. And here's another one. that's there. Put that there. This is that brick print that I did. Some more stamping and a little butterfly action there. Let's see, the tissue, and here's a, this was just a printout of different butterflies. I put some just ephemera in there and a cluster. Let's put in some of this stationery. Here we have another tag. This one is, again, it's Amazon packaging, very, very cool feeling. And this is a gel printed. I just cut that up and put it, made a pocket out of it. This is some more stationery I made. So we can put that in there. And here's the cool see-through envelope. I got this pocket, or this see-through frame from the ladies at ePapery. So I glued it down here also with an envelope that they made. I just added a sticker and this closure here. So it flips up like that. You get your tall pocket. And Yolande over at Devon Rex Art, she sent me some of these in a Happy Mail. I think it was 3. These are sunflowers that she painted, colored. And I just glued that there, a little pull tab. And the back of this page also has some stenciling on it. Back there. And then here we have another pocket. Somebody else sent me these beautiful birds that they drew on gel prints. And I forget who you are, so please let me know in the comments. But thank you so much, I love them. And here's a couple of ephemera journal cards I made a while ago. Again, just from my stash. Yeah, let's throw in some of this journal, or that word is so hard for me. Stationery. And here's the other side of the doily, and I glued some of this textured tissue paper on here that's got the string glued in it, and a little butterfly, and then here's a little journaling card. Now, I didn't glue this one down. I left it to flip open, and I used a piece of fabric I dyed to make a belly band. And here's another old piece of ephemera I made. This is a journaling card that I did on a an index card. Okay, almost at the end. And then here we go, some more stenciling here. And then this paper here that I made the pocket with, this is the piano paper, the piano music paper that comes in a roll. So I got some of that, but it's very thin and brittle. Not brittle, but just thin and easy to rip. So I backed it with some other paper. I don't know if you can, yeah, it's hard to see, but there's paper in there to back it up, and it's got different shades of green behind it. So I did all that, and then let's put this young lady in here. She's very pretty with a little 3D flower. And here's the end of the book. Here's another piece of that gel print I showed you earlier where I cut out the butterfly. This one I made a pocket with. And this is also from Sharon. This is a journal card she made. And all I did was I added a bunch of stuff here. Just this. Just that. And yeah, so that's the end of the book. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the flip through. I really do. I had a lot of fun making this book. I don't know where it's going to go, or I don't know that yet. But if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. And I hope you really make a journal, make a book. It doesn't have to be for anyone. It can be just for you. It doesn't have to have writing space. It can just be, you know, your art or some of your favorite images or whatever you want. But make one. It's fun. There's all different ways to do it. It can be relaxing, rewarding. It'll help you also, like it helps me get my creative juices flowing. When I'm sitting here and like, okay, what do I want? And then, you just build on that. And this took me a little bit, not as long as some other journals I've made, but I think it went quicker because I was really, really having fun with it. I really enjoyed the process for this one. So we're going to leave it there. I thank you for joining me, and I really, really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.